Good morning, all of you beautiful maggots, and welcome to a very special episode of Popo's Kitchen. Today, we are going to roll the dice. If you like me, you're a fan of Roll for Sandwich and the shows like it. I thought I'd do something a little bit similar and do Roll for Recipe. I have picked 5 of my favorite cookbooks in my collection to roll for any recipe out of these books, and then I have to cook them. Using our dice, we'll decide the book, then the chapter, then the recipe, starting with number 1. That means we're going to start with the Fallout Cookbook. And what we have to work with here is appetizers, soups, stews, sides, mains, desserts, and drinks. Okay, which of those 6 are we going to do? And number 2, that means soups and stews is on the menu today. We have 9 options. Going to get my D10 in a box to hold them because them round ones roll. And we get number 7. That is the Brahmin and vegetable roast soup on page 55. And motherfuck! Christ on a call me, I'm going to have to go to the store for all this. All right, soak beef short ribs in cold water 15 minutes. Here's our cold water. And here's the beef short ribs. They need to be 3 inches in length. Just got them out of the package like this. I don't know. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, Vegeta, come here for a second. What the hell do you want? Pecking order. Now stand still. Can I go now? Yeah, get out of here, you little scamp. These were 4 inches, not 3. I'm not going to bother cutting those down anymore. I'm also not going to cut on this because it was a gift. Starting with our vegetables, we have a Goku. And these mung bean sprouts can go over meow for later. Then we have a daikon, Goku's brother, followed by some pre-sliced lotus root. I couldn't find the whole root and actually had to find a Japanese store here in town that had them. This is Temple, not Austin after all. And to round off our little vegetal ensemble, we have something that's not quite vegetable, not quite meat. It's baby shiitakes. The book calls for medium. I can only find babies. Deal with it. Now it's time to prep the veggies. Grab your emasculating daikon and cut its head off, like so. And then snip the tip, like so. Mazel tov. Grab your peeler and go to town. Then have it. And then we're also supposed to quarter it as well, like so. Now, I don't have Goku around to measure for this one, so we're just going to eyeball 1/2 inch pieces, like so. Our lotus root, which has already been sliced, just needs to be quartered, like so. And our protagonist here is going to get peeled and cut into 1/2 inch rounds. Up next, we start with our aromatics, 2 lemongrass stalks. The book didn't say what to do with them, so they're going over nyaw. Followed by some garlic. We're only going to need 3 cloves. And some fresh ginger. That one's going to be fun. We will also be needing 1 Asian pear. Tell me why this one was so much easier to find than the lotus root. We then mince 1/4 cup of ginger. And then we get our 3 cloves of garlic. And, sorry, my camera almost died, so we had to switch positions here. We're going to knock the paper off of it with a thwack, like so. After we mince those up, it's on to the seasonings. 2 teaspoons of salt, followed by 2 teaspoons of freshly ground black pepper. And yes, I do mean freshly ground. Not that you gotta be that extra, but I am. Followed by another 2 teaspoons of cumin, 1 teaspoon of coriander, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, not garlic salt, powder, and then 1/2 teaspoon of cardamom. Of all things. Now grab yourself a Dutch oven over medium-high heat, put in 2 tablespoons of canola oil, and it's time to brown those bits. 2 to 3 minutes for each side. 4 at a time, if you please. And once they're all taken out of the pan, it's time to start throwing in the aromatics. We will start once again with the ginger, the garlic, a cinnamon stick, and 1 of our lemongrass stalks. The book also says to add more oil if needed. I don't think it is. It also didn't say to turn the heat down, so hopefully this doesn't burn, but we're just going to keep mixing to mitigate that. And I'll tell you what, this had better taste good, because she sure ain't pretty. Does smell good, though. It says cook till fragrant, like anything in this pan wasn't already. And after about 3 minutes, we're going to add the rest of our vegetables. That's a lot. I would be lying if I didn't say this is already smelling really good. After 5 minutes, we add the meat back to the pot, attempt to mix it, before adding our pear and shiitake mushrooms. We then top all of that with a sauce consisting of 1 cup soy sauce, 3/4 cups of rice vinegar, and 1/4 cup of sugar. Very tasty, just don't drink it direct. Lid it up and stick it into a 250-degree oven for 6 hours. Welcome back, maggots. We are officially 1 hour away from the stew being completed. It is time to start the noodles. Just pour this on there and we'll give it the good old soak method. Yeah. That's nice. And we'll just leave those to soak for a little bit. In 20 minutes, we can start the broth. Alrighty, home stretch. We are officially 30 minutes until done. I've got 6 cups of beef broth with 2 bay leaves, a lemongrass stalk, and some kombu simmering away. Well, it's not simmering yet, but it will be. Will be. Over low heat, if you please. Alright, I'm officially taking the reins. We're over 15 minutes down. It hasn't started simmering yet. I'm bumping up the heat. Gonna get it to that simmer. There we go. Now she's at a simmer. Just in time for the stew to come out of the oven. And how does that look? Significantly less so than I put in there. Wow. I can't tell you how good that smells. But now we have to transfer about 2 cups of that liquid into this liquid. Yeesh, making me work for that 2 cups. But we got it in there. Give that gloriousness a spin. And now it is time to plate. We start with a bowl. A hearty helping of our rice noodles. I went with the linguine variety. Some of our beef and vegetables. And finally, although it's a little hard to see, the broth. But how does it taste? I'm trying to get myself a bite here. I just want to point out one thing about how tender this beef is. 6 hours of cooking, man. That is buttery tender. It's beefy. It's well seasoned. Oh, the vegetables. Wow. Those take up a lot more of the sauce they were cooked in. And of course, they fall apart in your mouth, but it's a salty, kind of tangy, a little bit sweet. This was good. I had my doubts about a lot of the procedure in this because I felt like it was cutting a few things out, but no, this is good. This is really good. I'll make this again in a while because I don't want to spend all day cooking again. But no, that's good. I'll give that out of 10. I don't know. What do you think? An 8? Think an 8 out of 10?
Yes.
Why Furies? Wow.